Hello, I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor. Today I present to you a video that is one of a kind for this channel because we are venturing off to a new part of town. We are hitting up South Austin and I'm gonna tell you all about the Westgate neighborhood. Before we continue, here is my contact information, and I want to make sure that you guys know how to get a hold of me because you can always reach out when you need help selling or buying a home. I love hearing from you guys, and it's actually really fun for me to run into you guys out and about in Austin. So if you're thinking of selling or if you're thinking of buying a home, here's my contact info. The main thing I really like about the Westgate neighborhood is that, yeah, it's small. However, you can literally do whatever you need to do without actually leaving the neighborhood. There are parks there, there's a couple grocery stores, there's plenty of stuff to do. And if for some reason you do want to leave, which most people I think inevitably do, there's a ton of stuff right around it as well that is going to be really, really close and very conveniently located. So to start with, let's just talk about the location of it. Westgate is located just south of Highway 290 and it goes down to Stastny, and the easternmost corner goes to Manchac. Let's talk about Westgate. So if you're familiar with the south side of Austin, that side of town has always been known for being more hippie, real weird, very earthy, if you will. And of course, over the years that has changed quite a bit, but there is still a true funkiness that exists in that neighborhood in all of the south side, which you don't necessarily find in North Austin. And I mean, that can be either good or bad depending who you are and what you like. I think it adds a lot of flavor and it's kind of fun to see. So what is there to do in Westgate? To start with, like I showed you the location, it's right there in the middle of South Austin. So even if you don't want to do anything in Westgate proper, which there's plenty to do, you can get to literally anywhere on the south side in an instant because it's basically on the highway. With that said though, there is tons of stuff throughout the entire Westgate neighborhood. One of the main hubs in that neighborhood is the Westgate Shopping Center, which I think carries a little bit more culture to it than people may realize. Yeah, you can find your normal strip mall things in there that are pretty cool, but I think the heart of it is the Central Market. Central Market is owned by H-E-B, which is our main grocery store in Central Texas, and it has kind of a unique feel to it. It's really supposed to be more of an upper end grocery store, kind of like Whole Foods. This has a much stronger community feel to it. When you go into the Westgate Central Market, there is a section where people can dine, and then I know sometimes they move the tables out of the way and they'll have performers come in and they'll do community events there. So there's like live music, or sometimes there's like dance lessons and that kind of stuff there. You go further in, there is a salad bar, a really big salad bar, and Central Market also has a cafe where you can order all sorts of different foods. Central Market is known for having a lot of organic produce. It's really beautifully displayed, and then they've got a really wide variety of foods throughout the entire store as well. That's a whole other thing. I've done tons of videos on grocery stores, so we're gonna just skip on to the next point. In that same shopping center, there's a bunch of other stuff to do. There's a massage place, there's a dance studio that's really popular, there's a few restaurants, there's also a movie theater there. We also have an Amy's ice cream right there in the middle, and the Westgate neighborhood has a couple of parks. We actually stopped at a park while we were there, and I'll just let you take a look. Right here, we are in the adorable Jocelyn Park, right in the northeast corner of the Westgate neighborhood. This is a pretty cute, standard little neighborhood park, but I think it's actually kind of a big deal if you have one in your neighborhood, so I wanted to talk about it. There's a little running trail that goes all the way around. There's also a workout area with actual workout equipment. Right behind me, there's a tennis court. And then right over here, we have got a little playscape. The spot where I'm standing is super shaded. So if you live in the neighborhood, this would be a really great spot to have a picnic. Also, just like the rest of the neighborhood, it's super conveniently located. So if you're here with some kiddos, it's a great place to let the kids run around, and you're still super close to so many stores. There's a couple bakeries, coffee shops, and all that kind of stuff. So maybe after we play with the kids, you can go get some coffee or pastries. Right now, we are here at Captain Quackenbush's Coffee. That's a mouthful. We are just on the edge of the Westgate neighborhood here off of Manchac. This is one of the really cute independently owned coffee shops that exists here. We're gonna go inside and take a look, and you can see it's very much of the culture of South Austin. It's kind of hippie looking, it's a little industrial, super cute and very colorful. course, as in any other neighborhood video that we do, we want to talk about the style of homes and the price ranges that we can find there. Generally, most of the homes that are in the Westgate area are going to be older little ranch style homes. The majority of them were built anywhere from the early 60s to I would say probably mid 70s or so. They have kind of a similar look to them. Of course, a lot of the homes have been there for a long time and the area has grown in popularity over the years. So some of the homes have been remodeled, or you will see some homes have additions on them, or some of them have just been painted like a more modern color and just stick out a little bit more. But typically it's pretty easy to find a single story home there that's going to be anywhere from about 1,400 to maybe about 2,000 square feet. Not enormous homes, but I think really reasonably sized. As we drive through here, it's pretty evident that most of these homes are, I would say, a little bit smaller. They're not these grandiose over-the-top homes, but they have a lot of charm and a lot of quirk to them, which is so very South Austin. That is completely on brand for the South side. Because a lot of these homes are a little bit older, at least by Austin standards. They were built like in the early 60s, early 70s. A lot of them have bigger lots, so they have really spacious yards. There's also no real HOA to speak of here in this neighborhood or in the Westgate area. So a lot of these homes, even though they are very similar, they kind of have their own flair to them. Some of them look exactly as they did from the time where they're built in, let's say, the mid 60s. Some of them have been completely remodeled. Every now and then we see a little bungalow that's been rebuilt, or somebody added another story or added an addition to it. There's just a lot of flavor, and even though there's a general uniformity, there's also kind of a very subtle uniqueness to these homes that you wouldn't necessarily find in other pockets of Austin. I wanted to stop by this particular home that is currently for sale. We are in the Western Trails subdivision in the Westgate area. This home is a pretty good representation for the type of home that you can find in the Westgate neighborhood. It was built in 1961. It is 1,652 square feet. It is listed at $599, so we'll just round up to 600. It sits on a really big lot. It is just over a third of an acre. There's lots of space in the back as well as in the front. There's just like lots of space to get creative with it. This particular home does need some updating, but I think it's a fairly decent representation of the style of home that you can get in Westgate. As I mentioned earlier, the Westgate pocket is pretty petite. It is a small little tiny neighborhood, and this exact home, I looked it up, it says on the GPS that it is a 7-minute walk to Central Market and other fun activities and things to do. We're literally really close to everything. So the location of most of these homes in the Westgate neighborhood is super convenient. Let's just dive right in. The first home that I'm seeing was built in 1967. It is 1,537 square feet. The home was listed at $649,000 and it ended up selling for $687,000. Then I'm scrolling down to the most expensive home that has sold in the Westgate neighborhood. This home was built in 1966. It is 2,500 square feet. It sits on almost half an acre. It was listed for $1 million and it actually ended up selling for $1.3 million. In looking at this list though, the majority of the homes ended up selling for about 730 up to just over $1 million or so. So if you're looking in the Westgate neighborhood, the price range that you're most likely going to be in is probably going to fall about 750 to just under $1 million. So that's it. That's everything that I've got in the Westgate neighborhood. Like we've mentioned, this is a pretty small little pocket in South Austin. South Austin is actually pretty big. Westgate is very small. And it's a really cute, one-of-a-kind, intimate little neighborhood where there's so much to do and the location is so convenient. So if you have questions, leave a comment or feel free to reach out. You can always reach me via Instagram or you can shoot me a text. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor.